Half day and good morning, everyone. This public hearing conducted by the Committee on Land, Environment, Housing, Agriculture, Parks, and Infrastructure is called to order, and the time now is 9:02 a.m. Today's date is Tuesday, June 24, 2025. Notice of the hearing was disseminated to all local media outlets on June 17, 2025, with a second notice provided on June 22, 2025. Notice of the hearing was also made known on the Guam Legislature's website and the Government of Guam Public Notice portal. This morning, the committee will hear testimony on the appointments of Mr. Ronald C. Pangelinan and Ms. Leilani R. Flores as members of the Guam Land Commission for a term length of 5 years from the date of confirmation. I'd like to welcome my colleagues joining us here today. Senator Tendell Tidegui, thank you, ma'am, for being here. Before we begin, I'd like to go over the general rules of conduct. Individuals testifying shall first be recognized by the chair before speaking and shall state their name for the record-keeping purposes. Questions and testimony shall be confined to the substance or nature of the agenda. Personal inference as to the character or motive of any senator or individual testifying is not permitted. The chairperson of the committee may order the removal from the hearing any member of the legislature in Guam who fails to observe proper decorum pursuant to the standing rules of the 38 Guam Legislature. Any violation of the general rule of conduct will result in the removal from the hearing by the host. We will now proceed with hearing testimony on the appointment of Mr. Ron Pangilinan. I will begin by asking anyone who would like to testify on his behalf first to come forward. Okay. With that said, then we'll go ahead and call the confirmant, Mr. Pangilinan, to the table for his
Half a day and good morning. My name is Ronald Pangelinan. Good morning to you, Vice Speaker, Chairman, the Honorable Senator Tidegui. Good morning. It's an honor to be here before you once again to ensure my position as a commissioner on the Guam Land Use Commission. During my roughly one-year term, I have provided valuable knowledge stemming from my years of experience in real estate. Each meeting I have attended, I hope to make a difference for the present and the future of Guam's infrastructure environment and for the benefit of our people. I stand here hoping to have the chance to continue to make that difference with the Guam Land Use Commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pangilinan. I'll go ahead and open up questions to my colleagues. Senator Tidegui.
Let's hope this goes by real fast too, right? Mr. Pangilinan, thank you so much for wanting to continue. You said you were there only for 1 year, right, so far?
Yes.
And it is a 5-year term or 4-year term?
I believe it's a 5-year term.
5-year term. So tell me, what did you learn so far, in 1 year? What do you think, what have you learned that you thought is very interesting, and what do you think that needs help in this commission?
I've actually learned a lot, especially the process with the entire application review. Sitting on the commission, I was actually able to obtain information and learn from certain applications on the process itself. One thing I were to change, going back, I feel from people sitting in front of the board, they feel that the amount of hearings that go on, I think it's 3 or 5 hearings, they're hoping to streamline it because by the time they get on the Guam Land Use Commission, it's been almost over a year. That's what I've been hearing.
Any suggestions?
Maybe we can reduce the amount of hearings, the multiple public hearings. I believe there's 3. We can probably reduce it.
So reduce the public hearings is what you're suggesting?
I believe so.
Who's the chairperson on Guam Land Use Commission? Who's the chair?
Dr. Anita
Enriquez, right? Okay. So far, it's just because, as far as listening to the community, when they come in front of the Land Commission, the frustration they have, with that, okay, and so I hope that you do, you make that suggestion.
Yes.
if we have to put it in through legislation, do you have bylaws or rules and regs that is governed for the Guam Land Use Commission? I believe there is in legislation.
Yes,
right?
we do, yes.
And you're very familiar with what the requirements are, as well as what you can and cannot do as far as a board, right?
Right.
A commission.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So is there anything in the law that allows you to have that, reducing, like you said?
I haven't seen anything on it, but I would actually go back to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
please do so. I mean, if you see an issue, I hope you tackle it head on, and not just the issues that come in front of you, but being proactive too. Areas that you could see that foreseeable future of issues that might happen because of what you're doing today might not be very helpful. Right? Okay. The one of my sticklers are for board members when they come in front of me is the update of your website. The commission. When's the last time you checked the website for the commission?
Last week. Actually, this morning.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yay, team. Yay, team. Yeah. And are the minutes up to date?
I didn't check the minutes, but I was reviewing the process itself, and it's actually on there. The applications. I clicked on the applications. Mm-hmm. They're all updated. So the conditional use, summary zone. So.
Well, the most important thing is the minutes of the meeting.
Right.
That has to be on there. Because people who are watching, especially when it's land that's adjacent to their property, where people are coming up for a conditional use, and they need to know what's going on, and they need to know the response from the board, what their decision is in the vote. So I highly recommend you go back to that website you're visiting this morning, check and make sure the minutes are on there. Please, it's transparency that's so important, and it definitely will give you, points from this body, to see that you're being very transparent, because it's so important. I have to tell you, as a board member, I reached out to the Guam Land Use Commission on some legislation that we have in front of us. And if this one particular individual had the opportunity to go in front of the Guam Land Use Commission to change the variance, or not the variance, it's the, you do zoning, right? Yes. Zone changing. Okay, so come to find out, and I got a response from your chair, that the individual who's seeking through legislation to change the zone, that they have never come in front of the Guam Land Use Commission. However, when discussed, we found out that later on they did go in front of that's what they're saying, that they did go in front of the Guam Land Use Commission. I'm going to give you that zone. It's in your committee, Senator, the Vice, just to find out if that they did go in front of the Land Use Commission. And my very last comment would be to seek your comment is the fact that people go to this body to seek zone changes when the process has been put in place, and that's why you sit on this commission. So it's done fairly, transparently, and you bring all the people involved in changing it. From past history, the concerns of changing a zone, the repercussions of changing a zone without going through the process. There can be huge repercussions, as well as, angry people coming to the commission, getting mad, So the process is there. But I don't believe they should be coming to the legislature for zone change. If it's buying a piece of property, that's a little bit different, right? But you are the body that oversees, you've been put in place to check that out. So how do you feel about people coming to the legislature to get these zone changes without going to the Guam Land Use Commission?
I would assume it's probably frustrating for that applicant that they have to go through the legislature, but I'll look into it. I think I was CC'd on that email.
Yeah, you remember? Okay. Yes. So I'd really like you to double check on that, because they're claiming they did go in front of the Guam Land Use Commission.
Okay.
Whether it's like 10 years ago or, whatever the point is. But my point is, I'd like to hear, your opinion as to What, you think that people should just come to the legislature and get their zone change, or do you think it should go through the Guam Land Use Commission?
I believe it should go to the Guam Land Use Commission.
And why?
Because we actually, it's a collective decision based off the board, and with all the information, we actually make that decision with all the collective information that the team at Land Management, they're such an awesome team. They provide all the information for us to help us make that decision.
Exactly. Exactly. Very good on that. So when there is a bill coming in front of us and we find out it's any kind of zone change, where I'm going to seek Guam Land Use Commission's testimony, okay? And like what you do is a collaborative effort. I hope that that testimony that you provide is also a collaborative effort by the Guam Land Use Commission as to why, one, go ahead and approve the zoning, or don't. They should go through the process. Okay, so I'm going to be looking to you for that. I'm glad you were CC'd in my letter. Yes. So if you can double check, I appreciate it if you return my call. Okay. So that being said, do you have any conflict of interests at all?
No.
Have you recused yourself at all since you've been on the board?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Okay. Are you a yes man to this governor who appointed you?
Not necessarily. I make a decision based off the information given to me.
Good for you, because we will keep an eye, and this body will definitely protect you when you make decisions that are for the people and not any self-serving reasons, but for the people. So we'll keep an eye on that. So other than that, I appreciate you answering my questions.
Yes,
and
no problem.
Okay, and my door is always open. If you have any concerns, or you discreetly, if there's something that you see that's not going right at the commission, please feel free to call me, and I'll do what I can to help, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome, and thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Taitigui. I'd like to welcome my colleague, Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, do you have any questions or comments for Mr. Pangilinan?
I have no questions, but I've known Mr. Pangilinan to be a man of outstanding character and good judgment, and I wholly support his nomination.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Parkinson. Mr. Pangilinan, your time on the board, have you attended all the meetings?
I believe I missed 3.
You missed 3 meetings, and so moving forward, you think you'll be able to stay consistent in attending the meetings and making time for it? And I know it takes a lot of time out, especially with your busy schedule and things like that, right? And the reason why I bring this up is because now we're beginning to find that there's a lot of board members in different boards and commissions that have not showed up to their meetings and have not met quorum for many months and sometimes up to a year. And it's concerning because that hampers the ability for the commissions or the boards to move forward with the business of the people. So I just hope that, moving forward, just always try to make time for the meetings, and hopefully everything works out. But other than that, thank you for accepting the governor's call to step up and, to renew your time on the Guam Land Use Commission. We look forward to voting on your confirmation July session. So, Aaron, are we going to get their confirmations done? See? As long as my committee director says we're able to.
I think sessions moved to August now.
August? No.
And August 2nd.
Yeah. So, we'll get you on there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pangilinan. And with that being said, this will conclude the hearing testimony on Mr. Ron Pangilinan, and we will call now hearing testimony for the appointment of Ms. Leilani Flores. If there's anyone who would like to testify before Ms. Flores, otherwise we'll call Ms. Flores up to the table to. Good morning, Ms. Flores. You can go ahead and just turn on your microphone and then state your name, and you can go on with your testimony.
Good morning, Vice Speaker. Good morning, Senator Will Parkinson. Good morning, Senator Taitigui. My name is Leilani Flores. I've been on the board since 2019, and I want to extend. Yeah. I'm very shy.
But, I think anytime people make an opportunity or take an opportunity to be a part of the community, especially the work that goes on in the commissions and boards and commissions, is truly amazing. And I'm glad that you wanted to extend your time and accepted the governor's appointment for reappointment.
Yes.
And I'll go ahead and open up the floor to my colleagues and see if they have any questions, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Flores.
Thank you.
Senator Taitigui, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Leilani,
Yeah.
I like a woman with, that doesn't say a whole lot, and just does the work, and you seem to come across as that kind of person that just, you listen a lot,
Yes.
and then you take in what's there. So I'm going to ask you a question with regards to being there for 5 years.
Yes.
5 years. Has there been any issues that you have experienced where you thought there were some kind of shenanigans going on or anything like that, that you felt that some of the other board members were for self-serving reasons?
No, I don't think so.
Just speak into the microphone. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. None whatsoever.
You haven't?
No, I've never
Okay.
experienced
Have you ever
any.
recused yourself for a conflict of interest?
Yes, I have recused myself. I recused myself for the Punta and Dos Amantes Towers
Okay.
because my other half is involved with that.
I see. Okay. Just speak into the mic, because
Sorry.
yeah, just bring it closer to you. You can move the mic. Yeah, just bring it a little bit closer like this.
Okay.
You can move it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard. This echoing is so bad in this chamber, so it's hard to
It's
understand.
okay. It's okay.
Appreciate that. Okay. Well, I appreciate that you made that decision to recuse yourself when there's a
Yes.
conflict.
Yes, I
Okay.
have to.
And do you also look at the website daily, or not daily, but at least look at it several times during the month?
Maybe once or twice I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
A month, right? Not once or twice since 5 years, right?
Once or twice a month.
Okay. And are you familiar if the board minutes are up and are
Yes,
current?
they are. Yes, they are current.
They're very current?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I read through the minutes whenever, it gets emailed to us, and I stay on top of that.
And then make sure that it's being on the website too as well, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
that's very good, especially with the Chamorro Land, the Guam Land Use Commission. Like I mentioned earlier, you heard my comments with
Yes.
certain family members, keeping on top of that because it has to deal with them. They actually experience, times where property is being rezoned by their,
Yes.
next door to them, and it'll affect them. So I appreciate that and continue to do so. So do you feel, in your opinion, I asked the question of the other nominee, do you think that zone changing or variance changing should be done by this body, or should it be done by the Guam Land Use Commission?
I think it should be done by the Guam Land Use Commission, just because the Guam Land Use Commission, together with the DLM, we look at the surrounding areas and we select the best fit for the area. Like, you cannot have a restaurant in a residential area,
What about other departments of agencies like EPA? You have,
Or the ARC committee.
the ARC. I mean,
Yeah.
do you look at those reports
Yes,
too
I
as
do.
well?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And they come through with all that information to you to provide a very sound decision that you have to make on any
Yes.
kind of zone change.
Yes.
So in the event that the bill that's been introduced by this body and it's for a zone change, I hope that, when we ask for your testimony as to your opinion and why that this bill should be done either by this body or should be done by you. I think it's important that we get your input,
Yes.
okay, and
Yeah.
make sure the input, not just yourself, but of all the board members, a collaborative effort
Yes.
on that. Yeah. So do you find anything in the Guam Land Use Commission that could use some help in order to be more efficient?
I think we're pretty efficient now for the Guam Land Use Commission.
Have you had any constituents who've come there for land change where it was denied, that you had them coming back trying to sue the board or anything
No,
like that?
No, not since
None
I've been
like
on the
that?
board.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Well, I appreciate you wanting to serve again another,
you very much.
5 years. And I hope my vice chair, or then not vice speaker, asks you the same question about how many times. Yeah, okay, good. Other than that, the offer I gave to Mr. Pangilinan, that in the event you have any concerns or you see something going on, that's kind of shenanigans going on, please feel free. Call me up. Let me know. I could be discreet, and we want to make sure that the people of Guam get the best people sitting on this board. And I really appreciate you wanting to do that again for your community, because you're giving back to this island, and making it a better place for your children and your grandchildren.
Yes.
So always remember that. But my door's open if you need any help at all.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good luck to you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Tideway. Senator Parkinson, do you have any questions or comments for Ms. Flores?
No questions for this young lady. I'm happy to support her nomination, and thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Flores. Thank you, Senator Parkinson. Just for the record, Ms. Flores, I've known Ms. Flores for a very long time. She was a classmate with my daughter, and it's just it's nice to see family again growing up. But I do not have any conflict of interest with Ms. Flores, so I just wanted to make sure I put that on the record that I do have history with the family. With that being said, Ms. Flores, being on the commission, on the board, was your presence always? Were you always present for the meetings?
Yes, I've only recused myself once or twice.
I see. And then also, was there any time that you didn't have a quorum because members were not showing up?
Yes.
And is that quite often?
It's not as much as before, the previous, like the first year.
Yeah, because and the reason why I bring it up again is because the issue of quorum is very important, because we put out a lot of media notices for transparency, and then when the commission doesn't have a quorum, two things has gone wrong. Folks have expended money to
and it just prolongs the process.
Put the notices out, and then also the time spent at the commission waiting for the board to start, and then there's no quorum. Time and effort is also one of those things. So I hope that you'll be able to continue to move forward and show your support for the commission, and hopefully encourage all other members to be a part and always show up. Does the two of you's reappointment, does that complete the board, or are you guys lacking any other members?
I think, well, right now there's 4 of us. I think we just have another one who's just got the hearing, which got approved. Not sure.
Right. Okay. Well, that's the only questions I have, and with that being said, we'll go ahead and there's no further comments or questions for today's public hearing. The committee will continue to accept written statements on today's hearing within 7 days, which may be mailed to my office on the 2nd floor of the Guam Congress Building at 163 Chalang Santo Papa Yanagatnya. You may also send your statements to us at Vice Speaker Tony Atta at guamlegislature.gov. Thank you for your participation. This public hearing is adjourned. The time is 9:25 a.m. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Have a blessed day. Thank you.